A new season of Ignite News from Mohawk College. I'm Maddie Moses.
And I'm Stephanie Ribson. The Mohawk journalism students have been out and about within the community covering these stories.
Mohawk College creates a safe space for students to express their creativity. Carly Baker went to check out the room to see what technology the college has to offer.
The Makerspace workshops are almost back in session here at Mohawk College. Every Wednesday, students will be able to attend a 1-hour session in room E029, learning how to design something using the machines in the room. In this room, you can make stickers, print on t-shirts, engrave items, and more. Each week, there will be a different project for people to work on with the help of Makerspace technician Noah Gianta.
For hands-on experiential learning for students. Over COVID, over the last while, everything was really virtual. All online, all Zoom, all very boring. So there was no kind of making things, right?
All materials are provided and free of cost if you're attending the 1-hour session, and you will get to keep your finished item at the end. The workshop is open to anybody who wants to learn, no matter how experienced they are with the machines. Advertising students Maggie Mattian and Caitlin Gasparino started using the Makerspace last year to help with their assignments.
Is creating that same space that was built for us last year, where people can come in and collaborate and brainstorm about some ideas that they want to execute.
They still spend a lot of their time in this room and have even started a Makerspace club. The club will meet twice a month for a general meeting, and the other day would be available for students to build their own projects and ask for collaboration. Once the sessions get started, students can attend every Wednesday from 12 to 1. Stay tuned for more information about the startup of the workshop. For Mohawk College Journalism, I am Carly Baker.
Lots of great things are happening here at the Arnie.
These are just some of the events that the Mohawk College journalism students have been covering.
From the Mohawk Justice League to the Shelf Indulgence Book Club, there is a club for every student attending Mohawk College. The Clubs and Communities Wonderland event gave students an opportunity to check out the school's clubs. These attendees gave their thoughts about the event.
I'm really enjoying this event so far. I love the carnival, I love the free stuff, and it's just really a nice environment.
I really enjoy being here at Mohawk. The community is really nice, and I'm in the recreation therapy program. It's been really fun. It's a 2-year program. It's really opened up a lot of doors for me to be more open and confident.
Clubs are a way for students to get involved with the college and connect with people who share similar interests. For Blythe Chin, the co-president of the Dungeons & Dragons Club, D&D is their shared interest.
I personally really like D&D as it's a great way to express your creativity and just a great way to meet friends. It's if you ever have that niche of wanting to tell stories or just go through stories itself, D&D is the perfect way to do it.
Club ambassadors had the opportunity to go up on stage and tell the audience all about their club. The Arnie was bustling with activity as attendees enjoyed games and treats provided by the NSA. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Marisa Leet.
Students gathered at the Mohawk Fennel campus on September 20th to attend the Campus Life Expo. The event was held in the Learning Link and featured a variety of campus services on display at different tables.
Today's event is the Campus Life Expo. We host this event every semester for new and returning students. It's a great event so students can discover all the different student services and campus programs that they have available to them while they're a student at Mohawk College. So it's a great opportunity for students just to pass by, stop in, meet some of the Mohawk staff that are here to support them.
Each table was offering information on different services available to students, with some tables giving out free swag or raffle tickets. Some of the campus services that attended include Social Inc., Indigenous Education and Student Services, the Language and Culture Center, and International Student Services.
They are giving us a lot of information about the student life, how to get involved at the college, how can we join to any club or how to join into the group so we can be working with other people in the same situation than us. So I think that it's really helpful. They are giving financial assistance and that they are giving you the options to go to activities such as sports so you can be better understand how everything works in here.
Students who missed the event can keep an eye out for the next one in January, as the Campus Life Expo is hosted at the beginning of each new semester. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Jamie Byers.
Mohawk students formed a line outside of Pizza at 7 p.m. on Thursday to check in for Neon Night. While waiting in line, students could have their faces painted with glow-in-the-dark neon paint by MSA staff artists, before entering the cellar and starting the night with a silent disco, an activity that's becoming more popular to have at school functions, according to the events coordinator at the MSA.
It's partly, I think, interesting because you can kind of choose the music that you want to listen to, as well as you can kind of control the volume. And you're all kind of dancing in the same room, but you're dancing to different songs and different rhythms. So it's also kind of just funny.
After the silent disco, students could lace up LED rollerblades in the Arnie and light up the dance floor to the sound of DJ Damian Walker on stage in the background. Global business student Yash Singh came prepared for the dance, wearing a custom neon suit he made for the evening.
I'm ready to get an outfit, but besides getting an outfit, I get the stars. So I was like, let me be some DIY at home and just to create something new for me.
Students could refuel in between songs with free sandwiches and fruit kebabs in the Arnie. Before the last 15 minutes of the event, when MSA staff pulled everyone into the center of the dance floor, ending the night on a musical note. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Stephanie Ribson.
With concerts, festivals, and fairs, here are some of the musical stories our students have covered so far.
Collective Arts kicked off its 10-year anniversary celebrations with a bang. Beer, art, and music, all cornerstones of the local Hamilton brewery's identity, could be found at the two-day party entitled A Creative Trip. Ticket holders could purchase tokens, which could be exchanged for one of Collective Arts' many craft beers or cocktails. Steve St. John, the creative director for the event, said that the name A Creative Trip was meant to refer not only to the event itself, but also the journey that Collective Arts has been on since its inception.
The vision for this particular event was to try and encapsulate the 10 years of creativity that we've been on. You know, we've been on this journey with creativity for the last 10 years at Collective, and we really wanted to make sure that it was being highlighted as, as that. It was a journey. It was all over the place.
Mark Phillips, better known by his online moniker, Cat Dirty, designed all the art at the event, including the logo. He says that Collective Arts plays an important role in connecting artists of all kinds in the city together.
Well, they bring a great space for creatives to come together. They have music right now. There's tattoo artists over there. They've got craft beer. Just bringing it together, bringing the community together, getting people out, having a good time. Yeah, they make good beer, and I like how they support artists on all their cans.
Musical performers Moon King and Georgia Harmer, among others, were put center stage at the gathering while getting the crowd on their feet and helping to set the mood. Collective Arts Brewery can be found at 207 Burlington Street East in Hamilton. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Jack Brittle.
Welcome, Toronto!
The newest tour by Atlanta native Lil Yachty shows off the best of his two sounds. Originally gaining recognition for his bubblegum style of rap music in 2016, Lil Yachty, also known as Lil Boat, flipped his style early this year with a psychedelic rock album unlike anything else. The Field Trip Tour starts and ends with Boat's live band, the Silver Sisters, playing songs from the new album Let's Start Here. In between the experimental sounds, Yachty goes on a hit run and performs many of his classic tunes that fans have come to know and love. The show was initially scheduled for October 2nd, but was mysteriously pushed back one day with only a few days' notice. Naturally, fans speculated the reason behind the delay.
Man, honestly, I think it's so Drake could come out because, like, they're really good friends and, like, I don't know, man, scheduling it, like, one day, like, it's not really going to do anything, right? So I kind of feel like it's in Toronto, you know, it's Drake, like, it's kind of the perfect opportunity for him to come out, you know?
The hometown kid was in the building, and Drake performed 2 songs from the mezzanine while at the Toronto concert venue History. The surprise performance from Drake may have been the highlight of the night for many fans.
Seeing Drake come out was also pretty lit. Him playing two of like his new songs are pretty hard.
But Gorfei was most excited to see Let's Start Here live.
Playing the album, because it was one of my favorite albums of the year, was so much better than like the hype part. It was also like so much more chill. People actually gave us space.
Lil Yachty's Field Trip Tour is much like the new album in that there is almost no other musician offering quite the same experience. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Marshall Clark.
Various vendors took to the streets of Stony Creek showcasing their brands. You could hear live jazz music playing throughout the little town, making an afternoon stroll a delight. As the residents of downtown Stony Creek prepared for fall, they could find a horse and carriage ride as well as many apple trees right outside their doorstep. Tracy McKinnon, Executive Director of Jazz and Apple Fest, talks about what to expect while you're here.
I'm at Apple Fest eating apples. It's our 3rd annual Apple Fest, and you can find apples. We have apple pies. I think we have apple ice cream, apple cider, lots of stuffed apples, and also lots of artisan vendors and live music all day right till 5.
Cartoonists, crafted soaps, and crocheting grandmas were just some of the vendors at Jazz and Apple Fest. Approaching the end of the street is where you could find the jazz bands. Mahima Music, a local jazz artist, talks about her love for jazz and why she chose to be here at the Jazz and Apple Fest.
I got asked to play at Apple Fest. I'm super excited to be here. And I love that Stony Creek loves live music and supports musicians and artists. So yeah, I'm super happy to be here.
The Jazz and Apple Fest is free entry for anyone who wants to come and enjoy the street event, including your 4-legged furry friends. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Jade Deanna.
Autumn is in full swing. Check out these fall fairs that students have covered.
The town of Binbrook hosted the 170th annual Binbrook Fair this weekend. The fair offered visitors a variety of things to see and do, such as animal shows, fairground rides, a demolition derby, arts competitions, and shopping with local vendors. The fair provided fun for the whole family, as longtime visitor Megan Breakwell said.
I've been coming to the Binbrook Fair for years, ever since I was a young kid. When my family and I come, we like to check out all of the animals that they bring in, that they put up for shows to be judged.
Several food trucks were parked inside the fairgrounds to provide guests with some tasty finger food, as local bakers and chocolatiers sold sweet treats for dessert. Besides the animal shows and mobile restaurants, visitors could find plenty of other colorful attractions as well, as Megan Breakwell said.
We love to see all the handmade crafts, artwork, photography that gets entered to be judged as well. And I like the rides and the carnival games as well. It's always fun.
Animals and handlers that win the competitions at the Binbrook Fair are given the opportunity to compete at the Royal Winter Fair in Toronto this November. The main attraction of the weekend was the rodeo that took place in the middle of the fairgrounds. Cowboys and cowgirls competed in horseback riding, and some brave people even competed in bull riding. While other fairs will be taking place for the rest of the year, the next Binbrook Fair won't be until September next year. From Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Callum O'Malley.
The Ancaster Fair is a 4-day family-friendly event running from September 21st to the 24th. The fair has many things to do or watch, from carnival games and rides to agricultural shows to competitions to musical entertainment to a demolition derby. The fair has been running since 1850 and has become a yearly tradition for some visitors.
It's just like my mom built it into me. I've always come back every year, ever since I was born, pretty much.
As each year goes by, more vendors and attractions join the fair.
It's gotten a lot bigger. It's gotten definitely a lot bigger. More people come out to the outdoor events. So yeah, it's really evolved into much bigger.
For some visitors, fair food is the main reason they come to the fair.
I'll be honest, I come for the food. I love my funnel cake and my cheesecake on the stick and my blooming onion and yeah, pretty much any food I can get my hands on that is deep fried.
A pie eating contest is running all weekend. On Saturday, there's a baby show competition and a hot sauce eating competition. The fair is open Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online on Ticket Scene or at the gate. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Maddie Moses.
In nearby news, a Terry Fox run happened at the Dundas Driving Park. Rowan Garrow has the story.
At around 8 a.m., participants in Dundas's 43rd annual Terry Fox Run filled the Dundas Driving Park. The event featured 3 runs, a 1-kilometer kids fun run, a 5-kilometer run, and a 10-kilometer run. The event also had a bouncy castle, a pre-run warm-up led by trainers from Momentum Fitness, and a fundraising raffle with prizes. Runner Gauthaman Ravidran was the lucky winner of a case of craft beer and a brewery tour from Sean and Ed Brewery.
I was in grade school when Terry started his Marathon of Hope, but I've never actually run in a Terry Fox run.
The run isn't just a fundraiser, though, for Rosemary Bowden, who's been volunteering with the Dundas Terry Fox Run for the past 20 years. She says that the run is more than an opportunity to raise money, but it's a chance to get the community together, too.
I will tell you the feel of this event is so heartwarming because you see people coming together that, even pre-COVID, coming together that haven't seen each other throughout the year. They always come and see each other here. And we've seen the kids from wee kids toddling around the park. Now they're the adults running it.
The Dundas Terry Fox Run has always been a family event, and co-organizers Nicole Sorella-Wilson and Amy Ballinger say that their goal is to create something that can continue for years to come.
Well, both Nicole and I have children growing up in Dundas, and we were both children at the time that Terry did the run, and we grew up doing the Terry Fox Run in schools. And as an adult now, and really understanding Terry's accomplishment and seeing the amount of money his legacy has raised over the years and the community events that it creates, we just wanted to help make sure that that legacy gets passed on to our children's generation and continue the tradition of coming out and creating this event and raising money for cancer research.
The 2023 Dundas Terry Fox Run saw over 600 attendees and raised over $32,000. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Rowan Garrow.
Check out this Mohawk College documentary production about the ghost in Hamilton.
My name is Daniel Punalato, and I am head ghost guide and manager of the Ghost House. Dundurn Castle is a really interesting one because, when you think about it with historical locations, as sometimes it's been an old-fashioned view, I am a full believer that ghosts come along with the history, that it is a way that it can connect you to that past. So places like Dundurn Castle, for example, they aren't very open to their ghost stories. They don't outright ban it, but I know they discourage it. They discourage ghost stories being told inside the house, ghost stories shared around, and for this reason we lose a lot of great experiences because this place is just rich with history. So there's no doubt this place is haunted. And one of the stories that was shared to us a few years back, they do Victorian Christmas tours there. And this is a rare opportunity to have workers in the house at night. So what happened is one of the workers is shutting out in the evening and just going around blowing out the candles. And she said she was on the 2nd floor. And from the end of one of the hallways, the bedrooms in the distance, she says she heard a woman singing. Now, it's amazing what goes through your head when you have these ghostly experiences. And I'm going to tell you that for the most part, there's no such thing as a jump scare. You actually rationalize what's going on, and the first thing she thinks is, what a beautiful singing voice. And then she realizes it shouldn't be happening. So at this point, thankfully she keeps her calm enough to blow out the rest of the candles, leaves the house, comes back the next day, and looks for any source, radio that was left behind, something that could cause the singing woman's voice, and there's nothing. So when you have this type of experience, you always dive into the history. And inside the history, we do have an explanation for this. The room where Lady McNabb, this would have been Sir Alan's first wife, where she died was at the end of that hall. And she died of a lung disease. So if you put a little common sense into that, you would think, right, well, if she loved singing in life, she has a lung disease, she can't sing anymore. What's the first thing she's going to do after she dies? Sing.
Hi, my name is Leanne Pluthrow. I'm an author, a historical researcher, and a historian in the city of Hamilton. The railroad right below it used to be this old wooden train shed thing. That was great. That was down below there before they redid it. Louisiana Station's right. That building has so many weird stuff going on because it was used as so many different things. We know that there is spirits of a girl who was pregnant and murdered on her way over here for a better life, and she was bricked up in the basement. We know that there's 16 guys also buried in the basement when the floor had collapsed on top of them from the railroad below. We know there was kids that were raped when it was the school. We know there was deaths in there along the way, and there are many spirits in that place, all different kinds, all different kinds, all different types, mean ones, nice ones. Like there's a little girl in the one locker room. She just looks to play. She likes to open and close the locker doors. And then you've got the dark lady who freaked out. And then the janitor that lived in the attic that killed himself. There's so many different types because of the history the type of building has.
Yeah, so you asked me about Century Manor. I'm going to tell you that out of all the historic locations in Hamilton that still remain today, this one just gets me. Everybody who has visited, who knows about it, just has this mystery that surrounds the place, and I find it so fascinating. So Century Manor was originally known as East House, and this is where they kept the worst of the worst. If you're going to consider a real-life version of Arkham Asylum from Batman, this is probably what you would get for Hamilton's version of it. So the worst of the worst are in there, and you get that energy around it. But we do have one experience that was from a security guard, probably the best source of ghost stories in general. This fellow, he was walking through the old tunnels that would exist under the structures. I don't know if they're still there. But he was coming down one of the tunnels that was near Century Manor, and he said that he heard some women talking in the distance. Now, he just assumes it's trespassers, because folks can get in there. There is access points. And he comes around the corner, and he can see a door at the end of the hall, and that's where the talking is coming from, behind the door. So he walks up to the door. You can still hear them kind of whispering. It's a little muffled. And he decides he's going to, surprise them. And he counts to 3 and whips open the door to try and scare them. But he's the one that's taken aback, because here's what he said. He said there was women sitting in the darkness. You could see the shadowed outlines, sitting at a table. And when he had opened the door, he heard one of the women whisper to the other, "See, I told you he would find us." Now, the one thing that you ask somebody is for the detail of what they've seen in front of them. And even though it was dark in the room, he said he did notice that the way the women were dressed, you couldn't see behind the wood table, but what they had on their heads kind of came up in like a square. And he thought, and he's convinced of it today, that it's like the old nursing hats, the square nursing hats from the time of the asylum. Now, a custom house is one of the, no, let me rephrase that. It is the haunted building in the city from my experience. As I mentioned with Century Manor, you have these places of great history and it adds to the energy. So the custom house is interesting because over the generations there's been many different things. I mean, obviously it started out as a custom house, so people come in and they pay their taxes when they came in on boats. But it also was a school, it was a shelter. They call this social services, but it was just basically homeless people who just have an open door. It was a macaroni factory, it's been museums, it was a karate dojo. I mean, there's just tons of history surrounding this place. And the amount of people who've walked in and out of it definitely gives it its energy. But nothing goes past the legend itself. This is the reason why the place is popular among the ghost community, is because one of the oldest known ghosts in the city is from there, and she's known as the Dark Lady. Now, the story behind her, I'll just summarize. This young girl in England gets pregnant out of wedlock, so they're going to send her over to Canada to take her out of the village. And as she's coming over on the boat, it says she met and fell in love with the captain of the ship, and an affair is ensued. And at the end of it, as the lights of Hamilton are coming in the distance, the captain then realizes, oh right, I have a family and children. And this psychotic man murders the young lady. And in the dead of night, when they come to Hamilton, he brings her over into the basement of the newly built custom house and puts her inside the wall of the vault. So that legend has existed for a very long time. And this idea of a woman in there that was written into a poem in the 1800s kind of spurred on the legend. So technically this ghost has been known about since the 1800s. So because of that knowledge over the years, people now believe her to be one of the most vivid ghosts in the city.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Ignite News from Mohawk College. I'm Maddie Moses.
And I'm Stephanie Ripson, and we'll see you for the next episode.